Everybody, welcome to Tammy Talks. So, I'm Tammy. We are here today to talk Marriage Boot Camp, Hip Hop Edition. This is season 18, episode 1. Lovers on Lockdown. Before we get started, if you are new here, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit 500, before the month is up. So please go ahead and subscribe. Thumbs up the video if you enjoy the content. What else? Oh, leave some comments below, share the video, all that good stuff. Now, let's get into it. Honestly and truly, I wasn't going to review the show. I wasn't even going to watch the show. Mainly because I felt like when they first started talking about bringing Marriage Bootcamp back, these were not the people that they said were going to be coming back, that they said were going to be on the show. So they were pegging like Tierra Marie. I think they mentioned Lyrica and her wife. So it's just weird. It was weird to me how when like the show got actually, or like the show was actually released, the trailer and stuff, for complete different couples that I just did not think I would care anything about. But I was sitting here tonight and flipping through the channels and came across a scene and I was like, yep, hit restart. Let me go back and watch it and let's get into it. So, there are 4 couples that we have this season are Amber and Sir Brock. Amber is a rapper, songwriter. Sir Brock said he's a model and a rapper. They called them Love and Hip Hop Hollywood's favorite off again, on again couple. I'm gonna let that rock. They say that their issues are infidelity and verbal abuse, and they have been together off and on for 20 years. Next, we have MONIE Love, who we all know who MONIE Love is. She's a rapper, Grammy-nominated raptress, entertainer. And then we have her boyfriend, Tuff, who he said he's a rapper, but he does not have the critical acclaim that she does. They have been together for 14 years, and their issues are that Tuff keeps cheating on her. Keeps cheating, but yet you're still there. That baffles me. So then we have Marley Marl and Treasure. We know Marley Marl is a producer. He has produced for some of the biggest names in, the world. And then we have Treasure, who is his girlfriend. She is an exotic dancer, but then she said that she's an entertainer as well. They've been together for 4 years, and their issues are they're in a long distance relationship, and they have power struggles because of that, where she wants to be in charge, he wants to be in charge. And he said that one of his biggest issues with her is her drinking, because when she gets drunk, she becomes extremely emotional. And we saw that tonight. And then finally, we have Nori and his wife, Neri. We all know Nori. He's a rapper, he's a podcaster. They did not say what Neri does, so I'm going to assume she's a housewife. If that's wrong, I apologize. I might have missed it. I went back and rewatched their intro a couple of times to see if I missed it, and nothing popped up. But they said that they have little petty issues, mainly because Nori is super old school and he wants to run the household like they did back in the day. And they've been married for 10 years. So off rip, we find out that the couples had to quarantine in a hotel room for 14 days before they could even move into the house. Now, what happens when you are stuck in a hotel room with somebody that you're having issues with for 2 weeks? More issues are going to arise. The issues you have are going to be heightened. And we already see, Brock and I keep their names out, Lord. Brock and Amber, Miles and Amber, we already know that they are going to be a mess because they are already in the hotel room, fighting her, calling him names, her trying to hit him grabbing her arm. I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a mess. This definitely gonna be a mess with them. So they are sitting around talking. Everyone has arrived, and of course, on Marriage Boot Camp, everybody is drinking. I thought we saw on the last one, the last hip hop edition one, with who was it? Who was that on there? With Corrupt and his drinking, that something needed to change and that the amount of liquor that is in that house needs to be gone, or there just shouldn't be liquor in the house. It's crazy. So they're sitting around talking, and Amber said that she is kind of embarrassed. She was embarrassed by the fact that Miles came out as bisexual. She's embarrassed that he is bisexual. She doesn't want people to know because she feels like it's going to cause people to kind of look at her differently and wonder why she's with a man who likes other men. That hurts Brock's feelings. He feels a way about it. And they kind of start to go back and forth already. Marley Marl has said that his girl Treasure drinks a lot. And it was funny because they had champagne waiting for everybody. And then Treasure, like, downed her champagne and then was like, "Ooh, I need a shot." And I was like, "Oh, girl, you gonna miss champagne with hard liquor? Okay. All right, you better than me because I'm not doing that." So as we know, they start to have there's always a game on the first night where they do this thing. It's called the Daters game, where it starts off innocent enough, where you're kind of they're asking questions, you're writing down the answer, what you think of what you think your spouse or your mate is going to say, and then it's like kind of like remember like the honeymooners game. But then the game always takes a turn because they do this thing where they have you where they'll read a quote and then you kind of like everyone kind of you're supposed to hit a buzzer. I can't talk tonight. You're supposed to hit a buzzer on if you think that your spouse said it. So that's kind of how that's supposed to go. So the first thing off rip was something with Marley Marl and his girlfriend, or actually it was something with Marley Marl about wanting someone to act a certain way. And Sir Brock pressed it because he thought it was something that Amber said, when in actuality it was something that Marley said. He wants his wife to do womanly things. So he wants her to cook and clean and do all that type of stuff and he just wants to because he wants her to cook and clean and do all that type of stuff, and he feels that he can be the one to do just the manly things in the house. And we know that their troubles are, their issues are that they have that power struggle where she wants to be in charge, he wants to be in charge, but she also keeps saying that she's a true Southern belle that is submissive. So I don't understand a lot of what Treasure says because she's drunk and she's rambling. So she's like talking in circles and nothing she's saying is making sense. So then Amber, so then there's a quote that I sometimes have to wonder if he wants to be with me or with someone else. And Sir Brock presses that at the same time that Amber presses it, and Amber was like, I said it, and I was like, this ain't how the game was supposed to go. But it ends up talking about her, they always show a clip too of what the other person said, and we see the clip of her saying that she feels like she has to worry about now if he's out looking at another man or if he's out looking at a woman or something like that. And she kind of admits that she's embarrassed at the fact that he is bisexual. She said he is choosing to be bisexual, and she's embarrassed by that. She's embarrassed by it. She's not comfortable with it. It's a problem for her. So Miles gets embarrassed. He's upset, so he walks off set, says that he wants to go home. He gets in the back and he is crying to Dr. Ish, saying that he knows in the hip hop community it's rough when you're gay, when you're bisexual, and the fact that he has to deal with that in regards to someone that he's known for 20 years, someone that he considers a best friend. It's hard for him to stomach the fact that that's how she feels about him, because he came out to her because he thought he could trust her and he thought that she would have his back and like help him through this. So meanwhile, she has the audacity to be standing out there crying herself and shaking because she feels like he was not being truthful with her. And I'm just like, this is a mess. they are going to be a complete and utter mess. So we see MONIE comes over, MONIE Love goes over and consoles her, and Dr. Toller was like, yes, yes, this is what marriage boot camp is about. And I'm like, Judge Toller, don't geek them up. Don't geek them up over that little, pettiness that little basic stuff that MONIE Love was doing. It's great to finally see, it was good to see her go over and comfort her, but let's not make it bigger than what it was. So then we have Nori, who said he feels that since he pays the bills, that should be enough. He's paying the bills. He shouldn't have to help out with like chores and stuff like that. That was a mess. And then he said he feels that his wife Neri doesn't put him first. He said that, he wants to be asked, what do you want for dinner? He wants to have input and stuff like that. And then he said he just kind of feels like she doesn't cancel like hanging out with her friends ever to be with him. She wants her girl time. She wants to be number one all the time, and he wants to be number one all the time in her life, and it kind of bothers him when he has to take a back seat for certain things. And then Tuff cheated on MONIE while she was pregnant. We can see that she's still not over it. She still has that hurt. She still has that, twinge of resentment in her about it. So, as always, they have these rooms that are named horrible things to make you feel bad about yourself and about your relationship. And the group typically votes on who should go to what room. So we have Train Wreck Station. Everybody votes for Brock and Amber. We then have the Control Room, which goes to Molly and Treasure because Molly wants to be in control. Treasure feels that he's controlling. We have Cheater Chamber, which is MONIE Love and Tuff. And then finally we have the Petty Penthouse for Nori and Neri. So they tell everybody, while we get your rooms ready, why don't you guys go ahead and eat dinner? And usually for I feel like the first episode, for sure, the first night, they always have like a chef that's like cooking something that looks gooder than a mug. So they're all in there. They're all gathered around. And Nori is like, so nobody's married, just us? Okay, cool. So everybody was like, yeah, so we're going to be coming to y'all, trying to find out, information and tips and, how do we navigate this thing and all this other stuff for advice and whatever. Somehow they start talking about if you've known each other for so long that you end up knowing each other's bullshit. You end up knowing how to deal with each other. And then Molly, was it even saying Molly or Nori tells them, y'all are the same person, I see so much of you in her, and how so much of her and you, and typically opposite attract, but sometimes the same attract, and it's explosive because of that. So Miles says something along the lines of yeah, so if somebody knows your bullshit, they should, acknowledge it and just be done with it. That sets Amber off for some reason. So she flips his hat off his head and then takes his sunglasses and throws them. And then he's like, quit playing now. Quit now. So then she hits him upside the head. And then she pours her wine or whatever she was drinking, her drink, into his face before she gets up and leaves the table. And it's like, last season, when Tahiri threw that orange at Vado, and then Vado attempted to choke her, Vado had to leave the house. Vado could not participate. Vado couldn't come to any of the other things that happened in the house. Vado had to live in a hotel room. So I'm wondering what is the big difference now? Why wasn't Amber given the same repercussions? Why wasn't she kicked out of the house and everything as well? But whatever. So they don't ruin everybody's fucking dinner because Miles is just like, I apologize, y'all. I'm not even hungry no more. And they were all looking and I kept laughing at Nori's wife because she kept being like, it's too much liquor. It's too much liquor going around. And I agree because everybody is not everybody. I'm not even going to say that. Brock and Amber were drinking too much. And then on top of that, Treasure was drinking too much. So then, hold on, y'all. Took out the wrong sheet. Oh, okay. So then Amber is talking to Dr. Ish. She's like packing her stuff because now she wants to go home because she feels that he's embarrassing her in front of other people. So Dr. Ish comes out because Amber has like cornered him into a room where into a corner where he's asking to get his suitcase, and she's like, no, we gonna talk, and why are you out here embarrassing me? And she's like, it's a weird dynamic where like everyone can hear them kind of yelling. So Dr. Ish comes out and it's like, hey, what is going on? So Amber tells Dr. Ish, oh, he's making me act like this. He brings out a monster in me. And Dr. Ish said, you are a grown ass woman that is in control of her own emotions and feelings and actions. How would you feel if he hit you? And she kept saying, I didn't hit him. I wanted to say, girl, you know y'all are on camera. There are cameras everywhere in here. You absolutely did hit him. Absolutely did. So she said that he made her mad because he was disrespecting her. So that was her reasoning for hitting him, but he shouldn't be hitting her because he needs to keep his hands to himself. And I'm like, okay, so either you're putting on for the cameras, because I refuse to believe that you were this ignorant. Refuse to believe that you are this unbelievably ignorant. Everybody should keep their goddamn hands to themselves. And a lot of people just don't. A lot of people do not on this show and in life in general for whatever reason. So Miles starts to apologize to her and he tells her, you know, I'm sorry for the way I made you feel. She gets up and walks out. I said, I'll be damned. Because what you're not going to do is if I'm apologizing to you and you walk away, that's foul. That is super de-duper flaw. And that's what we not going to do. So they go back to the group and the group is still in there eating dinner and they all like, is that domestic violence? I ain't never seen no man hit no woman. You know, like, be like, you know, gossiping. And Treasure is like, yeah, because, you know, I'm from Texas. And in Texas, we just really love each other. And I love him because, you know, we be having barbecue. And that I'm submissive. And everybody is like, the hell is she talking about? Treasure is drunk at this point. She's drunk to the point where her eyes are glossy and like watering. That's how drunk she is. So Marley is embarrassed and he's getting up and he's like, this is what I'm talking about with you. And Neri the entire time was looking like, I'm ready to go the fuck home. Not because I don't want to be here to work out these issues, but because she don't want to deal with no drunk either. So they all finally go to get to their rooms. Oh, I did laugh because Nori said she was crying on top of her crying. Because she did start crying in Treasure and was like, you know, I'm just real emotional when I drink. And then she starts crying and I'm like, if we gonna kick it and if you get drunk, you got to be a fun drunk. You can't be no emotional drunk. You can't be an angry drunk. You got to be a nice, fun, lighthearted drunk because that's the type of drunk that I am. So our drunk got to match. So they get to their rooms, and as always, we know they always have some like bogus quote that the others that they said about their mate on the wall, and everybody is like, "Oh God." I mean, on Amber's wall, she's told Brock, "I wish you would die," and it's like, all right, toxicity to the finest, or to the highest, I should say. So they kiss and make up again. Why is her face so greasy in the confessionals? Did y'all notice that? Maybe it's her night skincare routine, but she was like glistening, and it was very distracting. So then Marley is mad because the room doesn't have a TV. He was like, there ain't no TV in here. Why the bed's so small? You know, I'm a person of a certain type of caliber. We get it, you're rich. But what your ass is gonna do today is you're gonna stay in this room in this queen size bed that they gave y'all, and you're gonna have to deal with it. The purpose of this show is for y'all to be together as a couple in close unit, in close quarters, and to have to be forced to spend time together. Y'all listed one of your issues as being that you have a long distance relationship. So, of course, they're going to pack y'all into that room. Treasure is still drunk, y'all. Treasure is drunk, 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 drunk. So, because Treasure is so drunk, she, because Treasure is so drunk, he's like irritated and he wants to go home now. So Dr. Ish comes in and it's like, what is the problem? Um, Marley said he wants to go home because, like I said, there's no TV. He doesn't like the room. He doesn't like how small the room is. He feels like there's nowhere for him to like kind of escape to get a moment to himself, and he doesn't like being called controlling. So Dr. Ish asks Treasure, "Do you feel controlled?" And Treasure was like, "Yeah, because it's Marley's way or no way. But I'm submissive. But yeah." And Dr. Ish was like, "Do you feel controlled? What does that mean?" And she was like, "Yes." So then Dr. Ish was like, "We're going to get this worked out. You have to trust the process." He leaves. Treasure is still drunk. They're getting in the bed. And Marley told her, "Girl, you got to get it together or I'm going to leave." She tells him, "Well, I'm whatever, cause you were alpha. You're an alpha male, and that's why I like them college parties." Y'all, I hollered, hollered. That's how you know she was lit, cause don't none of that make no sense. So he was like, "The fuck." He was like, "What are you talking about?" So he gets up and he goes and runs in the bathroom because he just wants to get away from her at this point. Now, she was clearly in bed just in a t shirt. So she is like up and she got her ass and she's like popping on the bathroom door. But her snatch is out because she don't have any underwear on, no undergarments on. So he's telling her, turn around because he knows that the camera can see, and you can hear everybody else, or they pan everybody else who is just like, this is gonna be some shit. This is going to be a long weekend. Again, um, they need to get rid of the liquor in that house. One of the conditions should be no liquor and no smoking. We saw that they had to even tell the cast from last time to stop smoking because how are y'all supposed to get anything done and adhere and be present when you're always in an elevated state of mind? Season's gonna be way more entertaining than I thought. I am Tammy. I am always talking. Please subscribe to the channel. Thumbs up the video. Let me know how you guys feel up so far about this season. If you're excited about it, or if you kind of feel like, why do we have these people on here that I don't say they're not relevant anymore, but like Nori and MONIE Love, those are old heads to us. Let me know how you guys feel about the season. Peace.